All right, we're going to get into my precision AR-15 rifle right now. So if you're looking for the cheapest way to start getting into long range shooting, and you may even have one of these sitting in a safe right now at your house, is with an AR-15, which shoots a 5.56 or a 223 round. You can shoot these rifles out to about 600 yards is what their kind of max effective range is. If it were me and I were just getting into shooting or long range precision shooting and I was wanting to see if it's something I was actually wanting to do, this would be what I would do, because most likely you have one in your safe. What I would do is make sure that it's a 16-inch barrel. My rifle is a 16-inch barrel. I have a Lahar 30 suppressor on it with a basic flashlight with a cover over it. That way I don't have any white light negligent discharges with that. I have a basic Magpul bipod on it. We'll go over the optic here in a second. I have an offset red dot so that I can shoot targets from 10 to 100 yards, close range, inside of a house, CQB style stuff. And then my optic, I can shoot out to 600 yards. Working down the rifle, I have a can't remember the exact name of it. I'll put the link in the slide presentation, but it is I want to say it's their lightweight PRS stock, Magpul stock. And the reason why for that is that you can see that it has a flat spot right here. And that's for when you start to use shooting bags to shoot precision rounds when you're in the prone position. So that's why I specifically went with that. You can tell that I don't have any sort of cheek riser on this at all. This is more of a battle rifle, so I don't want to get anything up here and in the way, especially if I'm going from close quarters out to 600 yards. Look, this rifle is cheap. This is an Anderson Anderson AR-15. It cost me $400 at Al Sporting Goods. The scope was 250 bucks. I have Monstrum rings on it from Amazon. You may have some extremely jaded opinion about them. However, for me, these rings have been rock solid. And then I have a Monstrum offset red dot. What I like about this is this rifle cost me, I'm under $1,100 this entire setup here. And I can shoot out to 600 yards, no problem. And I've shot out to 1,000, but I mainly try to stay within 600 yards because of this, what the bullet is actually capable of doing. 600 yards is where it's at. When it comes to the scope, I have a it is a Arkin LH4 4 to 16 by 44 power. The reason why I have a 4 to 16 on it, and I could have like a 2 to 10, like a low powered variable optic, but I like that little bit of extra magnification when I'm trying to identify targets downrange, or if I'm starting to make precise shots on 4-inch pieces of steel, 6 inches pieces of steel, 8-inch pieces of steel out to 600 yards. Those targets start to get pretty small. If I were to ever use this in a tactical situation, positive target ID, a little bit more magnification always helps. And so I definitely favor on the side of a little bit more magnification with my precision AR-15 versus less. As you see in some of the slides, the pros and cons to them is you are really only being able to shoot out to about 600 yards. When if you're getting into long range shooting, you're like, well, I want to shoot out to 1,000. Right. But if you have a 16-inch AR-15 sitting in your safe, you can spend $250 on a scope, some scope rings, and you're long range shooting, So you can get into it really cheap that way. When it comes to this system, and for me, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. And I don't think you need to spend a lot of money on it either. You'll see in the slides that I can get extreme accuracy out of it. I've consistently been able to get sub MOA groups at 100 yards. So that's group sizes under 1 inch at 100 yards, which that's kind of the industry standard is 1 inch at 100 yards. If your rifle's not doing that, then it's not accurate. So I can easily get that. I've shot this thing out to 500 yards and got in 2.5-inch groups, which is sub MOA. shot it out to 600 yards and gotten 3-inch groups, which again is sub MOA. That would translate to half-inch groups at 100 yards. So this rifle is extremely capable. I'm under $1,100 for the total cost of everything you see here, everything. So you don't need to break the bank when it comes to building a precision AR-15. And I like this is kind of a do-it-all rifle. I can do CQB with it. I can do close quarter battle. I can shoot out to long range. I can shoot coyotes. If I had to, I could shoot a deer. You know, it's a tactical rifle. You know, it's very good in urban settings. It's good in the truck to throw in the car as a truck gun or anything like that. So this is kind of your do-it-all rifle, and you can start learning long-range shooting with this rifle, no problem. So this is a weapon system that I train with a lot because I want to be really good with it. What we're going to do is I'm going to roll in some footage now of me shooting this thing, and I'm going to shoot it out to 600 yards for you, and then just kind of show you the capabilities of what the weapon system can do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I have a steel target set up downrange at 200 yards is where we're going to open this up at with this rifle system. You're going to see that I'm not dialing anything in my turrets. I'm going to be holding over in the scope. My dope is calling for 200 yards, 1 MOA of adjustment with this AR-15. So this is a cold bore shot. So what that means is gun hasn't been fired yet today. I haven't shot today. It's, you know, for precision shooting, it's the most important shot of the day. It's the biggest test of your skills, so to speak. If you can come out and first shot get around on target, especially at distances, it's usually the hardest shot of the day. You know, you have to take in all the environmental factors. So we're gonna take a shot here real quick, and then we'll move through some other positions as well. But for now, here we go. Cold bullet shot, 200 yards on a full-size IPSC target. And impact. Nice. So just like that, not even in a prone position, we're in a standing support position. And with this scope on the AR-15, we can hit 200 yards, no problem. All right, with this being an AR-15, more of like a battle rifle, I'm just gonna kind of do a little demonstration of what this thing can do, like kind of what its intended purpose is. So I'm gonna work through a bunch of different positions so you can kind of get an idea of what a precision AR-15 can do. I'm going to be shooting at a steel plate down here at 200, and we're just going to kind of work through these stages here so you can kind of see how it works. So here we go. Awesome. That's my precision AR-15. Love this rifle. Shoot it all the way out to 500 yards, no problem. All right, we're here back in the prone position. We're going to see if we can get some hits on this target at 500 yards. Might take me a few shots to get on, but we'll see what we can do here. Target. Where'd you go? There it is. Okay, my dope is calling for 12 MOA of adjustment. Parallax set. See if I can get me a hit here. Just off the right edge. Impact. Just off the right edge again. Wind's getting a little tricky. We go, impact. Off the right edge again. Impact. All right, we're here at the 300-yard line right now. I'm in a low kneeling position. You can see I have this tripod here. This is going to be for a tripod rear position. It's a pretty common position when you start shooting long range and you're resting your rifle on the front of something. So we're going to try to make some shots here at 300 yards. There is a little bit of left wind coming from left going right. So I'm going to be holding left. We'll see if we can get some hits. My dope's calling for 4 MOA of adjustment. See if we can get some impacts here. Just like that. 2 hits at 300. Same course of fire, but I'm going to do it on the 300-yard piece of steel. We're going to see how that goes. I'm going to use my rear bag as some stability just to get a little bit of extra stability at that 300 yards. So here we go. Okay, dope's calling for 4 MOA of adjustment. Is a little bit of wind. There we go. So no wind hold, holding straight up. And that's some rapid engagement at 300 yards.